In a hostile world, people do not target the most evil. They assault the most readily available targets, the person who responds fastest, the person who explains themselves the most, the person who continues to forgive just this once until it becomes the rule that everyone lives by. If you're wondering why the same personalities keep testing you, it's not a coincidence. It is because you are easy to understand. And after you've been designated safe, every weak character learns your identity. They don't require reasons, only holes. You've seen it in areas that appear to be normal. The co-worker who turns disrespect into humor by cracking a joke about you in a meeting and monitoring the room to see whether you'll swallow it and grin. The friend that is always in need of a favor, has an emergency, and regards your time as spare change because you continue to pay. The partner who tests respects the way someone tests a door handle, gently at first, then harder, without shouting, but with calm assumptions. You'll adjust, apologize, and stay. The family member who vents their animosity on you because you are the safest target. Here is the uncomfortable truth. They don't detest you. They are calculating you. Humans do this in the same manner that weather reads pressure, silently and constantly. People scan the initial seconds of an interaction for what you're willing to tolerate, defend, and give up to preserve the peace. They focus less on your speech and more on your reflexes. Do you rush to show that you're easygoing? Do you laugh when you are disrespected? Do you over-explain when you are tense? Do you apologize for having any boundaries at all? That teaches them what is possible. Once you're labeled as movable, the environment will keep moving you. It will not feel like an attack. That's the trick. It'll feel like requests, jokes, expectations, commitments, and minor debts you never agreed to. You will refer to it as being helpful. They will call it access. People will continue to buy because you offer low-cost access. Most people misinterpret what it means to be untouchable. They imagine harshness. They imagine arrogance, isolation, coldness, and a loud display of authority. That is not untouchable. That's insecurity in costume. Untouchable is quieter. Untouchable suggests that you are difficult to humiliate, pressure, or manipulate. Not because you fight everyone, but because your nervous system does not flinch when instructed. You do not rush to alleviate other people's discomfort. You do not bargain your borders into dust. You make a decision and it holds. Machiavelli knew something that polite society still refuses to admit. Good intentions do not earn respect. It is given to those who demonstrate credible repercussions, not violence, not threats, consequences, the kind that is reflected in your decisions, standards, and readiness to remove access without drama. When individuals realize that testing you will cost them something, they stop testing. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what signals make you targetable and how to reverse them. You'll discover how to create a presence that makes others think twice without raising your voice, giving speeches, or becoming someone they don't respect. Because the purpose is not to instill dread in everyone. The goal is simple: to become the type of person who cannot be controlled. The world doesn't have to be evil to be dangerous. It merely needs incentives. Ordinary people compete for money, attention, prestige, romance, and security, resulting in a quiet battlefield. Not with fists, but with friction, with deadlines, group conversations, social circles, office politics, and unspoken hierarchy. Scarcity makes people defensive, and defensiveness makes them wonder about your limits. The attention economy adds fuel. The noisy are rewarded, the agreeable are neglected, and the silent are given the extra responsibility of keeping things running smoothly. Most individuals think of antagonism as apparent aggressiveness. In reality, it happens gradually, in the form of little encroachments that appear harmless on their own. A joke that is a touch too cutting, but gets repeated because you laughed. A request that believes you'll respond yes eventually becomes a habit. A quick call evolves into an hour, which leads to your role. A co-worker steals your job, a friend borrows your time, and a partner borrows your patience. Nothing seems worth confronting This is exactly why it spreads. It seems little enough to overlook until it becomes your identity. Here's a rule that explains practically everything. People treat you according on what they believe you can tolerate, not what you deserved, not what you intended, what you can accept. Tolerance is a signal. It teaches people how to deal with you, as well as what you should anticipate from yourself. Challenging a conduct that has grown normal seems like betrayal to them. They'll say you've changed, but the truth is, you just woke up. What makes me uncomfortable is that even nice people are involved, not because they are evil, but because uncertainty causes anxiety in humans. Testing lowers uncertainty. People poke lightly to determine where the line is. They tease to see whether you can be moved. They ask for one more favor to determine if you're still reliable. When you answer with seamless cooperation, they rarely think, "How kind." They believe, "This is safe to push." Then they push again, and social pressure takes over, because no one wants to be the difficult one. This is why being nice won't protect you. Nice isn't a boundary. Nice is a usable reputation. When your identity is based on being liked, you become predictable, and predictable people are easy to manipulate with remorse, disappointment, and the prospect of rejection. You do not have to be weak for this to work. You only need to be attached. Keep this statement in mind, since it serves as the foundation for everything that follows. If you're always available, you're always useful. The message you're delivering is not, "I'm loyal." The phrase, "I can be accessed." Access creates leverage, which invites negotiation. When you don't control access, you don't control the results. That is why the initial step is not confidence. Others can immediately feel the structure. Next, we'll identify the exact access points via which individuals might influence your time, emotions, reputation, and identity. Machiavelli is beneficial here because he dispels the cozy notion that people are motivated by virtue. They move with advantage. They respond to incentives, danger, and reward, as well as what they believe will happen whether they push or cooperate. Your intentions are invisible. Your standards are visible. And the consequences, whether you have them or not, are felt. This is where the famous sentence is misconstrued. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Most people hear cruelty. They see intimidation, hostility, and dominance games. However, in Machiavelli's world, fear does not equal wrath. It is credibility. This means that your boundaries are not suggestions. It signifies that your yes is important because you can also say no. It means that when you speak, people don't immediately start bargaining. In modern times, you do not rule a city-state. You are navigating meetings, relationships, families, and social circles. The premise remains unchanged. Being respected is preferable to lengthy negotiations. Love without respect transforms into entitlement. Kindness without structure transforms into access. And once free, access attracts the type of person who takes without realizing it. Credible repercussions are the missing ingredient, not punishments, not a tantrum. Consequences. The subtle capacity to withdraw access, collaboration, and closeness without drama or a courtroom statement. Most people can make threats. Only a few may leave. Few people can quietly reply, "No," and let the air remain heavy without hurrying to soften it. That ability alters the entire game by making you pricey to disrespect. Consider repercussions to be gravitational. You do not lecture gravity. You do not argue with it. You take a step off a cliff and reality responds. In reality, this can be as simple as canceling a call when the tone becomes hostile, declining a last-minute demand without apologizing, or allowing someone to deal with their own disappointment while you go about your day. A single tidy action can teach more than 100 explanations combined. Notice how calm people are tested less. It isn't because they are luckier. It's because they don't exhibit neediness. They don't seek approval. They do not beg to be understood. They make judgments and let others control their reactions to those decisions. That reads as status. Status is not what you claim. It is what you can afford. If you can afford to be silent, patient, and walk away, you are automatically more difficult to dominate. And this is the moral permission most people require. Becoming untouchable does not imply cruelty. It's getting evident. You stop using softness as a defensive tactic. Stop using repeated explanations as a bribe. You can no longer buy tranquility by erasing yourself. Instead, you build a presence that silently says, "I will treat you well, but I will not be handled." Machiavelli would call it prudence. You term it self-respect. Same stuff. The world does not require you to be harsh. It needs that you be believable. Because if others believe there are no consequences for touching you, they will continue to touch you and eventually accept it as normal. People rarely come for you all at once. They gain access first. They touch a small element of your life, observe your reaction, and if you don't object, they take the next step. That is why untouchable is not an attitude. It's a door control. People use 4 entry points, and once you can identify them, you will no longer be bewildered and will begin to recognize a pattern. The first door is time. It arrives with proper manners. Quick question. Can you jump on a call? I just need you for 5 minutes. The true weapon is urgency. They frame it as now or never, so you regard their priorities as your own. If you acquiesce, you teach them that under pressure, you can be booked. Do that twice, and your calendar will become a shared utility. You begin to feel guilty about scheduling, rearranging your own work, rest, or plans because you do not want to disappoint. Meanwhile, they realize they don't need to plan, negotiate, or respect your boundaries because your instinct is to save the moment. Your anxiety becomes a scheduling tool. The second door is emotional. This is when empathy becomes a tool. They unload their stress on you, lure you with subtle insults, or create drama to get a reaction. They aren't always malicious. Often, they are attempting to reclaim control of themselves by manipulating you. If they can make you feel frightened, defensive, or apologetic, they can guide the topic anywhere they want. That is why some people irritate you, only to accuse you of overreacting. The reaction was the prize. Reactive people are predictable. A tranquil person is expensive to play with because nothing adheres to them. The final option is reputation. This one occurs in public. Sarcasm masked as humor. A statement that puts you on the spot. A group situation in which you are compelled to agree, laugh, or explain yourself promptly. People do this because social fear spreads quickly. Most of us would rather swallow a minor insult than appear difficult in front of witnesses. If you smooth it over, the room learns a valuable lesson. You can be tested publicly and will absorb it. And the tester learns something even more useful. They will pay the social cost to appear dominant. They want you to blink first, as blinking represents defeat. The fourth door is about identity. This is the darkest one because it appears to be a compliment. You're so nice. You're easygoing. You always understand. You're the helper. These labels feel cozy, yet they function like contracts. They determine who you are allowed to be, and when you go against character, others are offended, as if you broke an agreement. The label converts your boundaries into betrayal. You've changed. In actuality, you're simply no longer playing a part that made you comfortable. People will continue to insult you and refer to your tolerance as maturity if you are always the one who is understanding. This is also not maturity. Take notice of the common thread. People prefer regularity because it provides control. Untouchable individuals do not argue, beg, or explode. They simply stop making access inexpensive. Next, I'll teach you a strategy for closing these doors quickly, discreetly, and without turning you into a bitter person. Untouchable is formed in the same manner that reputation is built through repeated signals. Not one spectacular confrontation, not one brilliant speech, but a trend that demonstrates what occurs when others test you. Start with the pause rule. When you feel pressured, do not respond immediately. Instant responses say, "I can be rushed." A pause conveys the phrase, "I will think about it." Silence causes the other person to sit and accept their demand. If you need a sentence, use this one. "Let me think, and I'll get back to you." That simple sentence snaps the pressure spell. It shows them you are not programmed, even if they insist. Next, set one-sentence boundaries. Most people fail because they try to make their boundaries clear, pleasant, and painless. That converts a border into an opening. A boundary is a line, not a discussion. "I can't do that. That doesn't work for me." No. You can include one neutral detail if necessary, but never a paragraph. The longer you talk, the more you educate them how to negotiate. Short sentences indicate assurance. Third, engage in selective availability. Being reachable at all times feels like loyalty, but it actually acts as free access. Untouchable people are consistent, yet not easily accessible. You do not have to respond to every communication the instant it arrives. Choose windows. Return calls at a time that works for you. This indicates that your time is structured and not communal property. When someone says, "I need you right now," don't respond with terror. Respond on your specified timeline. Fourth, break the justifying habit. Explanations appear polite, yet they encourage cross-examination. The more you rationalize, the more material they have to attack. If you answer, "I can't because I'm tired," they'll argue that you should persevere. If you answer, "I can't because I have plans," they'll examine those plans. Every cause becomes a handle. Instead, decide and stop. "I won't be able to." Full stop. Your decision is the cause. Fifth, improve your ability to cope with disappointment. This is where people-pleasing ends. You were taught to view other people's disappointments as an emergency. It isn't. Someone can be upset while yet respecting you. When you set a boundary and they sigh, guilt trip, or go silent, don't rush to fix it. Allow the discomfort to exist. When you rescue them, you teach them that dissatisfaction may be used as leverage. Sixth, develop exit strategies. Most manipulation relies on catching you in a conversation. They're constantly asking you to explain, defend, and clarify. Untouchable individuals can cease the interaction peacefully. "I'm not continuing this. We'll talk later. I'm going to go." Then you go. No words, no wrath. Leaving is an unarguable consequence. Sometimes it means hanging up the phone. It might be as simple as walking out of the room. Seventh, maintain calm eye contact and stillness. This isn't a stare down. To relieve tension, resist fidgeting, shrinking, and smiling. When someone tries to test you with sarcasm, hold their stare. Let your face remain neutral. People test for a reaction. Stillness denies them the benefit and increases the expense. Pair that with fewer words and a slower pace. Finally, consider strategic refusals. Not only is it large, but also little. Turn down a minor request that you might typically accept out of habit. Say no to what you don't want. You're training both your environment and yourself. Each denial is a notice that access is not automatic. Put it all together, and you have the true definition of untouchable. It is not too cold. It's being consistent. You don't have to intimidate anyone. You demonstrate by repeated actions that touching your time, emotions, reputation, or identity causes friction. The world respects friction. This is why calm, controlled people are tested less. They aren't louder. They are tougher to transport. Some people adjust, others expose themselves. When you become tougher to move, the environment responds predictably, not with acclaim, but with labeling. People who profited from your gentleness will refer to you as cold, different, difficult. They'll claim you've changed, but they won't mean it as a praise. Pay close attention to that reaction. It is not a moral judgment. This is a withdrawal symptom. They will test you again. When access was inexpensive, your cooperation felt like love to them. Your prompt responses sounded like loyalty. Your over-explaining conveyed maturity. The moment you introduce friction, they feel a loss of power and attempt to label it in a way that shames you back into your old role. This is a blowback test. It reveals what the relationship was genuinely formed on: respect or convenience. Take it as data. If someone can only tolerate you when you are completely adaptable, they are not attached to you. They were focused on what they could gain from you. And once you realize this, you stop fighting for your right to be treated well. Simply change your distance. Untouchable does not imply cold. It means controlled. You can still be generous, compassionate, and present. However, you do so voluntarily rather than under duress. Your calmness becomes a boundary. Your silence becomes a response. Your departure becomes a consequence. The choice is now yours. Continue to be available and nervous, regulating everyone's emotions to avoid conflict. Alternatively, become firm and free, understanding that some people will dislike the version of you that cannot be controlled. Allow them to talk. You have more work to do.